Alright, welcome back YouTube fans. Today we're making a roasted chicken empanada. We're going to start off with our pastry crust, which is just a simple pie dough. In the bowl we have 2 cups of flour, 8 ounces of shortening, 2 teaspoons of salt, and approximately 6 ounces of water. Make sure that your water is nice and cold, and we're going to go ahead and start cutting our shortening into our flour. What we're trying to do is just mostly make sure that all of our flour is coated with our shortening. We'll go ahead and do that really quick. A lot of people can use puff pastry, or you can even go to the store and buy your pre-bought or pre-made pie dough. So this is pretty quick. The trick is you got to make sure everything is cold. I even refrigerate my flour as well as my shortening. So it's all come together, and the pieces are about pea-sized, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now we're going to go ahead and make a well. And we're going to go ahead and add the water all at once. And this is not like bread dough where you have to knead it. You literally just want it to come together. Make sure that the flour has absorbed all of the water that we've put in there. And we're right where we need to be. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we're going to stick it into the fridge for an hour. And we shall. Alright, so now that our pie dough has chilled, we're going to go ahead and unwrap it and roll it out. What you got here is you got a little bit of flour. We're going to put that on our table so it doesn't stick. And then a little bit on top so your rolling pin doesn't stick. Alright, now you got to roll from the center out. You should usually check it about halfway through your rolling to make sure it's not stuck to your board. Now you're looking for about 1/2 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thickness for your pie dough. And it looks like we are about there. If you want to cut. And we're going to go ahead and work with about a 3-inch round cookie cutter. And we're going to cut out as many circles as we can. Okay. So now I can go ahead and peel away all your excess dough that you have. So all you should be left with is your rounds. Now you can take all this extra dough and squish it back together. The big thing is you have to wrap it and refrigerate it so it doesn't become too tough on you. So we're left over with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 rounds. Okay. Alright, so now that our pie dough is done and we've got it cut into circles, we're going to go ahead and get started on our filling. We have a little bit of vegetable oil here. We have some onions and garlic that are all minced up. We have some roasted corn. We have some fresh black beans. Some chicken that's been nicely shredded. And we have a pepper jack cream sauce that I've made here. It's slightly thickened, but that's kind of what you're looking for. We've got some nice chopped up cilantro, and we have some salt, pepper, cumin, and smoked paprika, about a teaspoon of each. We've got our pan nice and hot. You can see it's starting to smoke a little bit, so we'll add our oil, and we'll go ahead and add our onions and garlic. And we're going to go ahead and stir that. You're not looking for any color on it. You just want to cook them for just a minute or two. And then next we're going to go ahead and add our roasted corn. And just the same, we're going to go ahead and cook that just a little bit. The corn brings a nice freshness to the empanada, adding some vegetables to it. And we've got some nice black beans here. We're going to go ahead and add all of that to that. Go ahead and incorporate that real nicely. Smells wonderful. Now at this point I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning. Salt, paprika, cumin, and a little bit of black pepper. And go ahead and stir that in. Now if you can't toss it like I just did, you're more than welcome to just stir it together. You're going to let this cook for just a minute. Make sure everything's nice and hot. And then next we're going to go ahead and add our roasted and pulled chicken. And go ahead and incorporate all of that very nicely. You're going to want to let this warm up for maybe about 2 minutes. Now you could also add, if you had chipotles, you could add chipotles in here, or just your adobo sauce. I'm trying to go for something a little bit more kid-friendly, something that's not terribly spicy, but something that's got a lot of flavor in it. So we'll go ahead and let that warm up for just a minute. Now you're more than welcome to add a couple of tablespoons of water to this and cover it with a little bit of aluminum foil to help get things going, but sauteing it just as well works fine. Alright, now lastly you want to add your fresh herbs. You don't want to add them at the beginning. You want that very fresh taste of the cilantro or any herb that you put into your dishes. So we'll go ahead and add our cilantro and a couple of tablespoons, maybe probably about a 1/4 cup of our pepper jack sauce. So I'll go ahead and add that in there. And we'll go ahead and toss that together. And you're looking for something that's nice and cohesive, not something that's loose. You want something that's kind of in between, in the middle. You should be able to coat all of your chicken and all of your vegetables. Now I'm going to add just a little bit more. So I probably added about maybe let's say 3/4 of a cup altogether. This is not rocket science at all. You're literally just cooking from the hip. Okay, so this looks very nice. It's nice and cohesive. It's coming together really nice, and it smells wonderful. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let this cool. We're going to take this off the heat, put it in the refrigerator, and we're then going to get started on putting our empanadas together. So once your filling is cooled, you can go ahead and make your egg wash. I just put together 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water. And we're going to go ahead and take our pie dough rounds that we've cut out. And we're going to put not a whole lot. You don't want it to explode out of the dough. So we're going to put about a tablespoon in each. We're going to do 4 of them. We'll put them together for you real quick. Alright, so you're going to want to use a little bit of egg wash to make sure to seal it, and that'll help prevent any leaking of your filling. And you can be generous with it, go all the way around the outside. And let's go ahead and fold them over. And we're just going to pinch the edges to ensure that it's closed. And you have an empanada. It's all sealed. Looks pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and put it on our lightly oiled sheet pan. And I'll go ahead and finish up these other 3 real quick. Another one, check the seal. Now if you get a little crack in the top, like I have right there, it's okay. We're going to poke it with a fork so it will vent out some of the steam that's building up inside of the empanada. We don't want it to explode, so we need to vent that steam out. Alright, so our empanadas are done. We're going to go ahead and prick the top of it. And I've got our oven set at 425 degrees. We're going to go ahead and put them in the oven for about 10 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. But first you want to egg wash the top of it. That way it gets nice and golden brown. And the empanadas will be done in about 10 minutes. So we got our empanadas out of the oven, and they're nice and golden brown, not burnt on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and line them up on our plate. And I've made a very nice sour cream, lime, and cilantro sauce to go with it. And yes, these are very hot. Alright, so there we are. Those are roasted chicken empanadas with black beans, corn, and our pepper jack cream sauce. And that's our sour cream, lime, and cilantro. A little bit of salt. It's good to go. Enjoy! Alright, so if you liked our chicken empanadas today, go ahead and hit like at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.